Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are ready to learn everything that's going on around in the economy and what's making everything work. Not the BS that you see on the news channels, all the garbage that they try to feed you and pretending and acting as if things are one way when they're completely the other way. So some big things just happened today and yesterday. We had huge market losses. We had about a 3% both days in decline. So we were looking at about 6%, 7% on the S&P 500, on the Dow. All the big names dropping. Apple, Google, Nvidia had huge, I think it was like 20% in the last week or 2 weeks. It was shot up really high and lost all those gains. I think it's still up on the year to date so far, but did drop heavily. We have the retail stocks; those are getting dumped off. The Carnival cruise, the cruise lines, the airplane stocks, the hotel stocks, everything just taking a dump right now. And everyone's trying to figure out what to do with their money. Should they sell right now? Should they buy on the dip? And I think there's, more losses to be had right now. I don't think anyone's safe in the market. I'm pulling out a little bit of what I have out of the market right now. The coronavirus continues to spread. It's now very large in Italy. It's very large in South Korea, which new to me. I didn't know that South Korea was such a big, like a distribution center from China. So a lot of goods go from China to South Korea and then get shipped out from there. So the fact that South Korea is having a big issue with the coronavirus now is actually a bigger deal than I think a lot of people realize, and I don't think the market realizes that either. Right now, according to some doctors, this is actually turned into a pandemic. It's not just an epidemic. An epidemic is basically where we have issues, people are getting sick, people are dying, but it's usually just on like one continent. Now things are kind of spreading to other continents, and so a lot of doctors are claiming it's actually a pandemic. A lot of big countries, governments, the mainstream media doesn't want to call it a pandemic because obviously that's going to cause more chaos, and more chaos means more sell-offs. And right now, none of the governments, none of the central banks want any kind of sell-offs of the market because that's just everything's going to dump even further. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see if the Fed decides to pump more money into the system tomorrow, if we're going to see more declines. I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the rest of the week, I think we're going to see more declines. How far will it go? We should see. But I think a lot of people, are going to ask the question, if I can't put my money in the stock market, where am I going to put my money? Do I take it out and keep cash? Do I put it into things like gold or silver? What am I going into emerging markets? What do I do? And I think the best play, of course, is going to be gold and silver. Those are going to retain your value. Right now, they're going up on these big losses that we're having. Gold's above 1,600 now. Silver is above $18 an ounce. So they're climbing these walls of worries pretty much no problem. Obviously, the central banks are buying them. A lot of people aren't buying them, which is still keeping the price very cheap for investors. And I think once things start catching wind that this is the play to go, it's going to go through the roof. So I think you definitely want to be invested in hard assets. Obviously the precious metals, the gold and the silver. And you might want to think about, taking a little bit off the table in the markets. We had a great year last year. Even a lot of stocks this year have gone up a lot. So I think it's good to realize those gains and to capture them, and then start keeping some, maybe even in cash a little bit, to buy in the dips in the future. And then of course just putting down gold and silver. I don't think you can go wrong with those at all right now. They've been climbing when the market's up, they've been climbing when the market's down, and all the central banks are buying it. The only thing that's really pushing the price of gold and silver down still is the fact that the Fed and even China has been printing money, and that's keeping the price down a little bit. But obviously that can't go on forever. We're probably going to see some rate cuts in the future. People are talking about maybe 3 cuts this year. Getting the interest rate down to like 0% or even negative. And that's obviously not going to be good for the economy, but that's pretty much all they can do right now. So, it's a little scary right now in the market, but I think you guys should, I think people should look into maybe taking some off the table, realizing the gains that they have had maybe from the last year or last couple of years, and start preparing. Buy masks, because right now if you go on Amazon or some of the big websites, you can't even buy a little mask that goes over your face. So APT, that's a great stock that I think it got about 30 or 40% today. There's Lake, LAKE, a ticker symbol. They basically make medical clothing, so I think they're going to go up potentially. So it's time to prepare yourself. We'll see if the president can hold on to this economy before the election, because I think if it does crumble, if the stock market does crumble all the way before the election, I don't think he has a good chance of taking it home. If the stock market can, get through this year, then, we'll see what happens. But, I think the market hasn't even considered seeing Bernie win. If he wins, obviously that's going to affect the market most likely in a very negative way. And that once again is going to push gold and silver higher. So I think these are things to consider. Obviously the gold mining stocks, those are all cheap right now. Peter Schiff has a great mutual fund, a gold fund managed by Adrian Day, who's very skilled at what he does. So I would consider looking into that, and just prepare yourself. We'll see what the rest of the week holds, and continue to prepare yourself, and we'll see what happens. So keep watching these videos. I'm gonna keep you up to date with basically what's going on. What the mainstream media is not going to really tell you, and so that way you can keep yourself prepared for the next economic crash. Thank you.